Hello everybody, how are you doing today? And welcome back to the garden. It's a desert weather, we're getting 30 degrees heat and it's time to harvest my potato containers. Let's go. First of all, let me show you how the containers look like. It's desert. I still have my main crop potatoes in the ground. They don't look too hot. It's been really hot and really dry, but they are still growing, so they can stay in the ground for a while still. But we can have a look what's happening with the containers. And here is the main veggie area. As you can see, it looks like a Gobi desert, really. Everything is wilting and I can't keep up with watering. But then again, the stuff is still surviving. It's quite surprising really with this heat and no rain at all. But the container potatoes weren't so lucky. I just couldn't keep up with the watering in the heat. And that's what I have now. As you can see, they definitely won't grow anymore. I might as well harvest them and start second crop of potatoes in the same pots. I have my seedling potatoes here. I've planted tiny potatoes, one of the last ones I had from last year in their pots, probably 3 weeks ago, I would say. So those are the seedlings I'm gonna put in the big containers after I harvest the potatoes from them. But now let's do some harvesting. Okay, and here we are. I think the plan for today gonna be harvesting all those containers. I'm just gonna show you on the camera one of them. It's way too hot for me to work and juggle the filming at the same time. So I will harvest the container of potatoes. I'll show you how much I'm gonna get. I was sneaking 1 or 2 potatoes from each container for last couple of days. So I know there are some potatoes. And after that, I will replant that container with my new seedlings. As I said before, I planted the seed potato about 3 weeks ago, I think. That's how much it grew already, so it can go in the main container. And I will amend the soil with the chicken bedding, as I always do. That should be plenty enough for 1 container, pot like that, 2-3 liters of chicken bedding. But now, without further ado, let's do some harvesting. The potatoes definitely won't grow anymore. The plant is completely dead. I just couldn't keep up with the watering and everything else happening, so I left them to die. So hopefully we'll get some harvest. The moment of truth. Okay, let's have a look. I need a container for the potatoes. Hold on a sec. Okay, that should do it. As always, too optimistic. I'm definitely not gonna get a full bucket of potato from 1 container. But let's see how much we're gonna get. All right, so where was I? We are getting some potatoes. They're nice. Nice size. Those are the white early variety potatoes. I don't remember anymore how many pots of each variety I planted, but there's only 2 of them, main crop and early. We are getting some potatoes. They are not the biggest one, but I'm not expecting the huge one in the containers. I'm hoping the one growing in the soil gonna be double the size, but this is lovely potato size. You don't need the huge baking potatoes. As I said, I will be planting the second crop in the same containers, the big ones. I always do that every year and it's working like a treat. I'm usually getting 3 to 4 harvests of potatoes. One's in the ground and 2-3 harvests from the containers if everything goes right. So we'll see. Having a greenhouse help as well, because I can start my potatoes very early in the spring and keep them growing in the greenhouse for the first few weeks. And same in autumn, I can move the containers in the greenhouse to protect them from late early frosts. I'm actually quite surprised. I'm getting more than expected. I've planted 1 seed potato per container. As you can see, the compost I was using is mostly sticks. It's not rotten through at all, but the potatoes don't mind. That's going to be a nice harvest after I go through all those pots. Okay, I think that's all I'm gonna get. This compost is so dry, but let me show you, it's not a bad one. So that's what I'm getting from 1 container, from 1 potato plant. It's not bad. I think I have 6 or 7 containers like that. So that's easily going to be 1.5, 2 buckets of potatoes from containers alone. Not bad. But now let's do some crop rotation. I will use the same container, just going to mix the compost with some chicken bedding, plant the potato and water it well and try to keep up with watering. For my fertilizer, I'm using chicken bedding. It's mostly straw, there's not that much chicken manure in it, but that always works. A container like this, what is it, 2-3 liters maybe, for a pot this size, plenty enough. Mix it up well. And I can start refilling the main container. As you can see, the potatoes don't mind really rough compost. There's no need to overthink what you're going to plant them in. As long as there's some nutrition and moisture, they will grow. Bonus one. Is the camera picking it? This is the seedling I'm going to be using. It's quite big, they grow very fast this time of the year in the heat. That was a headache as well to keep it watered in those small pots, everyday watering, but it's worth it. So now I can plant it in this pot, top it up with the soil, and I'm ready for the second harvest. The roots are starting to coil at the bottom, so it's about time before it gets root bound. That is a good workaround really with the succession planting. If you don't have space, plant your stuff in the pots, and then once you get your space ready, you can plant your potted plants. I hope you can hear me over this chicken crowing. He's very talkative today. Okay, and here we are, one potato planted, one potato harvested. It's not bad really. If I get some time after harvesting all the other pots, I'll take a photo and tag it at the end of this video. But yeah, that's one container, one potato harvest. And I'm ready for my crop rotation as well. This plant gonna get a proper watering. I'm gonna drench that soil. It's really dry, it's just like dust. But yeah, that's the plan. By the way, let me show you what type of potatoes I've been planting in those containers to have my second crop. Just one sec. Okay, so as you can see, you don't need any fancy potatoes from the store. Those are the last drugs from last year. Not really usable anything. Potatoes the size of that. They're still gonna grow to a proper size plant. You can use them. I have few more left. If I'm lucky, I might plant them in the ground somewhere to have my last crop. We'll see. But those are the type of potatoes I've been using for my second crop. Let me show you close up. It's not the pleasant look. They were all dying, shriveled potatoes. I just put them in the tray, watered them a bit. The best looking one, the fastest growing before I planted in those pots, and that's what I'm using for my second crop. And those one, after I harvest my main crop potatoes from the ground, I'm gonna go for my fourth and last crop, most likely. If they'll survive, it's late in the season. But yeah, I think that's all I have for you today. Potato harvest, just a shortcut really. Let me concentrate on my other containers and I'll catch you up in the garden very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.